The situation in the Middle East is getting tense by the minute after Israel's unprecedented strikes crippled Iran's nuclear and military might. A retaliatory firestorm has engulfed the region. Tehran and Tel Aviv are now battlegrounds, rockets by a fresh barrage of missiles and drones. Casualties are mounting on both the sides with dozens killed, hundreds wounded, and the warning grows even more dire. Tehran will burn. This is what Israel has declared, while Iran has threatened to hit UK, US, and France military bases if they defend Israel. We get you the latest on this special coverage, asking all the important questions. How far will this conflict go, and who will pay the ultimate price? Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has just a short while ago has issued a threat saying, and I quote this, "In the very near future, you will see Israeli Air Force jets over the skies of Tehran." Meanwhile, as I mentioned, Israel has resumed its attack on Iran. The US-Iran nuclear talks have been called off. Iran and Israel, they are trading warnings. Missiles are being fired from both the sides, and there are reports that 3 people have been killed in Israel. At least 40 have been injured there. Meanwhile, in Iran, at least 78 have lost their lives on its soil. And Israel and Iran, they are trading blows in the sky from words to warplanes. Tensions are escalating in the Middle East as we speak. All right, we are getting you all the latest from the ground. Ricky Rosen joins us live from Tel Aviv. Ricky, given your current location and the ongoing situation in Tel Aviv, can you describe the immediate aftermath of the latest missile barrages in Tel Aviv? What is the visible damage? How are the emergency services responding?
I'm located here right outside of Tel Aviv at the site where this morning at 5 in the morning, 2 people were killed and about 12 houses and buildings in this area were seriously damaged, and some of them were demolished by Iranian missiles. Right now, there is a collection of soldiers from the Home Front Command who are surveying the site to, maybe you can see them in back of me, to get instructions about how to deal with these kinds of attacks in the future, because Israel expects that since its attacks in Iran are continuing, that the Iranian counterattacks will also continue as soon as in the next coming hours and throughout the night.
Right. Also, give us a sense of what is the current atmosphere like among the residents. Are people worried? Are they remaining in shelters? Is there a sense of trying to return to normalcy amidst the alerts that are being issued there?
The Home Front Command, which told people to stay in their houses and right inside or next to protected areas like bomb shelters, they eased the instructions to say that you just had to stay close to a protected area. The Israelis who came by the hundreds to visit these sites were very proud at how Israel is standing firm in the face of what they consider to be Iranian aggression, and said that they will do whatever is necessary to protect the home front and hopefully not to suffer any more casualties.
Ricky, we are also, getting reports, and we are hearing these reports of hospitals moving patients underground. Can you confirm that for us? Also, can you also provide more details on the preparedness of Tel Aviv's infrastructure for such sustained attacks there?
They are incredibly prepared. There is an underground hospital inside Tel Aviv. There's also an underground hospital inside Haifa, because they are used to getting attacks from Lebanon, from Hezbollah in Lebanon. And they just transferred a whole unit of babies from a neonatal unit in an unprotected hospital into the protected underground hospital in Haifa. Tel Aviv has a lot of beds available in case the hospitals that are above ground are attacked and hit by Iranian missiles. But the Home Front Command and the Iron Dome system are pretty confident that they will be able to intercept most of the ballistic missiles and drones that Iran has and will continue to send, as they have. This area that you see behind me is an exception in which the missiles were not intercepted and they made a direct hit on the houses and caused casualties.
Ricky, what is the official messaging from the Israeli authorities to the public in Tel Aviv regarding safety and future potential attacks?
They say that this war will probably continue for at least the next couple of days, if not weeks, and that the public has to be on guard, especially in the evenings, because that's when most of the Iranian missiles have been launched. And so the people have to stay inside. There are no large public gatherings. Schools have been canceled, and people have to remain alert. They have promised that the Iron Dome system and the protective systems in the Israel Defense Forces, including Air Force jets that intercept missiles before they even enter Israeli airspace, that they will be effective in intercepting and neutralizing most of the Iranian airstrikes. But as you see, there are a few that have evaded the Israeli defenses and made hits.
Right. Have you also observed any significant disruptions to the daily life beyond the immediate impact of the strikes? Are there any sort of changes in public transportation, businesses, communication networks, anything?
Well, I have to say, my niece was supposed to get married yesterday evening, and the entire wedding was called off, as many weddings have been and will be. In fact, the son of Prime Minister Netanyahu was supposed to get married in a very big wedding ceremony on Monday. That has been called off. The airport is closed, so Israelis and tourists and journalists and anyone who wants to get in or out has not been able to. And it's closed until further notice. So daily life has been severely disrupted. But the Israelis are used to, after 20 months of war in Gaza, and many of those months, they were suffering from daily missile attacks from Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israelis are kind of used to obeying the instructions of the Home Front Command and trusting in the ability of the Iron Dome defense system to keep them safe from incoming missiles.
Right. Ricky, what is the general sentiment among the Israelis regarding the government's response to the Iranian attacks and also the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's strong warnings?
I think there is, in general, a large proportion of Israelis support this action because they see that the threat of Iran, both the existential threat from their nuclear potential and the fact that Iran has funded and supported Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis, all of these Islamic parties that have been attacking Israel constantly for the last 20 months. I think Israelis feel pretty united in opposing Iran and being open to these attacks against Iran and having to suffer the counterattacks in return.
Ricky, before I let you go, one final question. Are there any sort of visible signs of international presence on assistance in Tel Aviv following these events?
Not yet. As I said, the airport is closed and nobody can get in. But in the last attacks that in October 2024 and April 2024, attacks from Iran, in which Iran sent over 300 ballistic missiles and drones. The US and even Saudi Arabia and Jordan assisted in shooting down and intercepting these missiles. They say that the Jordanian Air Force also downed some of the incoming missiles that entered their airspace, but most of the interceptions have been done only by Israel, although the Americans promise that if there's a need for defensive assistance, it will be coming from the U.S.